Today we have another installment of our maintenance show. Today we're going to focus on punctures and how to repair them. We are going to use scissors, this magical product called Tenacious tape, and that's about it. It's a really simple and quick process. Before we get started, I just want to give you a little background on the material we're using here. This is the shell material of the Action X series, which is the same as Explore, except Action X is a thicker denier. Now you can see there's a grid pattern that dominates the fabric. If you touch it, you can feel there is an actual weave that creates that grid pattern. So when your material gets a puncture, when it's inside the grid, those grid walls act like walls and trap the puncture within that spot. Now, of course, if the rip or the energy is greater than the actual weave, it's gonna break down those walls, but the walls will act as some resistance and slow the tear down. So right now, I'm gonna show you how to repair it. So I'm gonna use Tenacious tape. It's a product made again by Gear Aid. It also has a ripstop weave in it. It's a very low denier, lightweight nylon. The back has a very sticky adhesive and it's really easy to use. We're gonna put a tear in this. Oh boy. This. Oh yeah, there we go. So we've broken through 4 squares on the grid here. Quite frankly, if that catches on something, it's gonna keep tearing, right? So we gotta fix that. So I got my Tenacious tape here. Now I'll show you right here. I've also got the green on the green pack. So this is what it's gonna look like on the green bag. I put this on just as a test patch in March 6th, probably a month ago. I've used this bag, I don't know, maybe 5 times since then. And it really doesn't show any sign of deteriorating or wear. So back to here, I'm gonna cut off a little patch. You'll wanna make it bigger than the actual tear. So I'm gonna do it about here. So you'll just peel it back. You can see my tears there. And it's on just like that. There's a little bit of extra here, so I'm just gonna show you what the clear is gonna look like. I'll show you on both the black and the green. I'm gonna cut off a little piece here. We can get a comparison so you will know what you wanna buy. Now that is barely visible. And I would suspect over time that will become less and less visible. So let's try this on the front of the green bag. The green bag isn't as clean as this new textile, so if the bag is dirty, take that damp cloth and clean it, let it dry, and apply that tape. With regards to the clear tape, it's more noticeable on the green bag than it is the black bag. And I'll also add that, I can't say this with 100% confidence, but I think the material is actually a little bit different on clear than it is with the green. That does happen sometimes. I almost feel like this one is much more flexible and this one almost feels a bit more like tape, which kind of makes me a little nervous for its long-term durability. Personally, I think I would stick with the colored versions. Just to further the thought about this one feels a little bit different. One of the great things I love about this is that if you are like me and have a bunch of accessory cases, you might like to label them. And I found this stuff is really good for labels. I'm not sure if you can see this, but this tape absorbed the marker, whereas this one responded like tape does and it kind of smeared on touch. So there is definitely a more plasticky feel to the clear version than there is to the colored ones. So you should be able to find this online or at your local outdoor shop, hopefully. That's another episode of our maintenance series, and we will see you next time.